Mr. Bradshaw at AddSomeToYourIncome.com here to answer a very big question. What can I do to make a lot of money? To give you a quick overview of what we're going to look at today. I do plan on going through the list of the highest paid positions according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, to talk through those and to know how to make a lot of money there. Then I'm going to spend most of my time talking about how you're living your life because you are valuable, and that brings money to you. And at the very end, I'm going to touch on how I got a little talk I watched, and to summarize that talk, of a doctor talking about how to live your life to get the best and the most rewards out of it. Let's dive in. So we are looking today at how to make a lot of money. In the three types of income, labor income, gift income, passive income, we're going to focus today on the labor income. What jobs can you do that make you the most amount of money? A poem for you. This poem is written by Miss Ellie. The last name is Ellie. The Dash. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years, for that dash represents all the time they spent alive on earth, and now only those who loved them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love, and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that still can be rearranged. To be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. Remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So, when your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things that they say about how you lived your little dash? I share this to help you question if you really want to live the life of a highest paid position. It means you're going to sacrifice a lot. It is a choice you can make in order to go after a lot of money. I give you a warning that many who live that life find they spend more than they make to keep up the appearance and the position. And you think they are happy and rich and wealthy. So choose something in the list that at least you're going to enjoy as you spend your time making money. Enough warning and ha teacher moment. Let's get to the highest paid positions in the United States according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The highest paid position is an anesthesiologist, person who comes in to take away all your pain during surgery and is actually overseeing the surgery. They are paid $260,000 a year on average. Just below them are the surgeons who are working, and a little ways below that are the nurse and I was gonna get nurse anesthetist. I feel like I have a lisp when I say that one. Nurse anesthetist. Nurse anesthetists. Nurse anesthetist. Anesthetist. Anesthetists. Nurse anesthetists. Up in that same range are surgeons, oral surgeons, and orthodontists, those who are creating and doing surgeries. They make more than chief executives. Chief executives are just about $200,000 a year. Other areas you might be interested in that are high-paying jobs that might catch your attention: dentists, $178,000 a year. Engineers, petroleum engineers especially, up at about $150,000 a year, but also computer and mechanical engineers, natural science managers. Lawyers are up in that range, if that's what you're going for. Physicists, astronomers, and physicists. Those are positions, those are places. You could look this up too on the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I'm just rambling these off from there. Find something. It makes sense. Make more money for the time you're putting in at work. Find something you're also going to be able to be humble about. That you will be careful about getting caught up in living in a certain neighborhood. It's so hard to avoid that when you take on some of these positions. I would think that the one that's near the top of this list that would probably be able to get there is astronomer. You could still live a life, you're making nice money, real decent money, and you're able to have the life of an astronomer, where you're not expected to be a doctor, driving a certain car, living at a certain address, in a certain clubs that you are a member of, giving certain charities, donations, gifts. The expectations on these high earners is usually to be high spenders. So I warn you about that. Be careful. And make sure you are doing you. I had this story shared with me about a gong being played in a particular piece clear on the other side of the world. And the gong had to be shipped with the orchestra, along with all their instruments. And the gong was hardly played at all. It had a very small amount of time that was played. And yet it was so important to have the gong in the music that it was brought all the way across the world. You are a gong. In terms of you are valuable, and what you can do will change the world. Po, Kung Fu Panda. He's the hero. He's a panda. He's a Kung Fu hero. If you've seen this movie, you know he was shocked about it himself. Master Shifu didn't expect that he would be the one to be selected, and yet he said, "You have been selected. You dropped from the sky," because he was trying to see what was going on, and he landed on top of who they all thought was going to be picked, Tigress, and it's Po. Of course, then Shifu dies, and the Dragon Scroll is needed. The Dragon Scroll is where they have saved a scroll for eons that will teach the great secret to beating your opponent. I just did that. Opponent. Po looks at the Dragon Scroll as they're about to be attacked by their great enemy. And it's empty. And he realizes he sees his reflection. He is the secret. He then, and there's this really funny scene where he's like going downstairs and squashing the guy, and then of course he does the kuchi hold with a flip of his pinky finger, where he says skadoosh. Po wins against his opponent because Po did Po. I promised you something from a talk that I watched. It was by Richard J. Davidson. It was about mindfulness. He pointed out that the suicide rates are really high. And it's because people aren't living with a purpose and a meaning. Please, I warn you, I beg you, don't just make money. Do what you love, and then you will make more money. And I will see you on the other side.